What if a prophecy isn't a specific date to wait for, but a door that's slowly closing? For years, people have treated 2026 like a final destination, a point where everything outside us suddenly changes. Many expected the world to shift on its own. Dolores warned in her last and most urgent sessions that this belief is the biggest mistake we can make. 2026 isn't the end of anything. It's the start. It marks the beginning of a sorting process across the planet. And the map you're about to see doesn't show what will happen to Earth in the future. It shows what has already been decided inside you. In this final deep-level release, we won't talk about unclear predictions. We'll go through the structure of a cosmic deadline, a spiritual moment you cannot return from. We'll decode Dolores Cannon's final combined map, showing not only the physical fault lines but the spiritual timelines that are splitting apart right now. We'll identify the energy patterns of people who may get stuck in a descending reality, and we'll share the steps you need to take to make sure you're on the right side when the door finally shuts. This isn't just another video. It's a last urgent message from beyond the veil. The map is here. The moment to choose has ended. The moment to act has arrived. Your future isn't being decided anymore. It's already shaped by every thought, emotion, and choice you've made up until this second. Pay close attention. Everything beneath you is about to shift for good. To understand how serious this is, you first need to let go of the comforting idea that the shift is a gentle upgrade everyone gets automatically. Dolores' source made it clear, this isn't forced evolution. It's optional. And it's controlled by a universal mechanism as strict and real as gravity. A mechanism that has a deadline. This mechanism is the point of no return. Picture two huge tectonic plates deep underground. They've been pushing against each other for centuries, building pressure. In spiritual terms, this is the clash between old 3D fear-based consciousness and the new 5D love-based consciousness. 2026 is not the quake itself. It's the moment the pressure becomes so strong that the plates lock into their final direction. After that, the separation isn't possible. It's guaranteed. The timelines permanently move apart. This idea isn't new. The superconscious often compared this coming split to the last days of Atlantis. Their mistake wasn't their technology. It was thinking they had unlimited time to choose. They noticed the rising energetic pressure but assumed they could think their way out of a spiritual crisis. They waited too long. By the time the water rose around their feet, the choice was gone. The world had already turned. The point of no return isn't something you'll see with your eyes. It's something you feel deep inside. Our modern world is approaching this point far faster than Atlantis did. The pressure is stronger. The choices are sharper. And this pressure is what creates the map. The map isn't predicting the future. It's recording the present energetic state. It shows where collective consciousness in different areas has already made its decision. It highlights regions that are locked into two separate directions. We're not looking at what will happen later. We're looking at the result of choices happening right now. This map has nothing to do with good or bad places. That's old 3D thinking. This map shows frequency patterns. Some regions are becoming acceleration zones. Others are becoming deceleration zones. Acceleration zones are places where enough people have already chosen a higher frequency. They'll face challenges, but the challenges will push forward positive change. These areas become the first landing points of the new Earth reality. They're the birthplaces. Deceleration zones are regions where collective consciousness is still tied to fear, control, and division. These places will feel the collapse of old systems most intensely. Their turbulence is not about renewal but breakdown. They're the cleansing zones. Dolores Cannon's work, when compared and combined, draws a clear and unsettling picture of this global energy grid. Let's start with North America. The main deceleration zone, the center of the old world's collapse, is the eastern United States. This isn't punishment. It's energetic cause and effect. According to the source, this is the brain of the old Atlantean system. Financial centers, political power, media control, all rooted here. The energy is heavy and dense. The land needs to be washed clean. The map shows the whole East Coast from Boston down through New York, Washington, D.C., and into Florida as an area of intense water-based purification. It's locked into a timeline of cleansing. On the other hand, The main acceleration zone runs along the Rocky Mountains, through the American West into Canada, and across high desert areas like Utah, Colorado, and Arizona. Dolores's source called this the backbone of new Lemurian energy. It's stable ground, far from the heavy density of the coasts. This is where the earliest New Earth communities will grow. Now to Europe. The map here is more divided. Western Europe is the main deceleration zone. The source said this region carries the weight of religious empires, colonial history, and ancient karmic debts. The load is deep and old. The prophecies point toward major changes from water in the north, affecting the UK and Nordic countries, and earth and fire in the south, touching Italy and the Mediterranean. These areas are set on a timeline of intense karmic correction. The acceleration zones in Europe lie to the east. The Carpathian Mountains, especially in Romania, and the Ural Mountains in Russia consistently appear as safe zones. The source described them as old lands with steady energy, not tangled in the old Atlantean story. They will hold. This is the worldwide map. But the most important part is that this outer map reflects an inner one. The real point of no return isn't a date. It's a choice in your soul. And many people don't realize they're on the wrong side of the line. The superconscious was asked again and again, what keeps a soul from crossing the threshold? The answer was always the same, not lack of goodness. Lack of participation. Souls that can't shift aren't bad. They're simply not involved in their own evolution. To know if you're at risk, you need to look into 3 mirrors. These are the 3 types of spiritual bystanders Dolores Cannon met repeatedly. This isn't judgment, it's diagnosis. First mirror, the timeline tourist. This person collects spiritual knowledge. They can talk about Dolores Cannon, Edgar Cayce, and the Law of One. They know all the terms, the shift, the event, the new earth, but it's all in their head. They study the map but never take the journey. They know forgiveness matters, yet they hold on to old grudges. They talk about the frequency of love but spend their days anxious and critical. The source explained the trap clearly. They think knowing the information is the work. It isn't. It's only the syllabus. The real work is applying it in daily life, the messy, uncomfortable, real part. The timeline tourist is standing at the threshold, looking around, taking notes, but refusing to step through. Second mirror, the cataclysm spectator. This person waits for something big to happen. Endless videos about solar flashes, mass arrests, or saviors from the sky. They're addicted to the idea that an external event will fix everything. They've handed away their power, hoping to be rescued. The superconscious gave a strict warning. Anyone waiting for the wave to carry them will be crushed by it. The wave isn't the event. The wave is the result of people who already learned to create their own buoyancy. There are no saviors. Only other swimmers who can teach you how to move your own feet. The cataclysm spectator is sitting in the stands, waiting for the game to start, not realizing they're supposed to be on the field. Third mirror, the frequency faker. This is the bypasser. They've mastered the language of high vibration. Their posts are full of love and light. They talk about unity and positivity. But underneath, they're hiding from their own darkness. They use affirmations to cover anger, meditation to escape grief, avoidance to ignore injustice. The source warned that this is a mistake in universal physics. You can't build a new house on a rotten foundation. Unhealed emotions, fear, rage, shame, are heavy and dense. To rise, you must go down first. You must face the basement of your being and clean it out. Light doesn't delete darkness. It shines on it so you can transform it. The frequency faker tries to rise while a weight of unprocessed trauma is tied to their ankle. If any of these mirrors sound like you, don't feel guilty. Feel relieved. Seeing it is the first step toward change. It's the moment you stop watching your evolution and begin taking part in it. The superconscious didn't just explain the problem. It gave the solution, a 3-step path to move from bystander to builder, to cross the point of no return with intention. First, to heal the timeline tourist, become a timeline engineer. This is a rule you can't skip. For every hour of consuming spiritual content, spend an hour practicing it. If you read about connecting with nature, go outside and touch the earth. If you learn a heart coherence exercise, stop and do it for 10 minutes. Take the knowledge out of your mind and put it into your life. Stop studying the map. Start walking it. Second, to heal the cataclysm spectator, become a first responder. This is about reclaiming creative power. A first responder doesn't wait for things to settle. They move into the chaos and create direction. Ask yourself each day, what can I build, fix, heal, or create today? You're not here to save the planet. You're here to save your own day from passive waiting. Plant a seed. Forgive someone. Produce something. Offer kindness. Stop expecting the new earth to arrive like a package. Act like you're part of the team building it, because you are. Third, to heal the frequency faker, become a grid worker. This is the path of the alchemist. A grid worker transforms heavy energy into clarity. When fear, anger, or grief shows up, you don't run. You turn toward it. You feel it fully without letting it control you. You listen to what it's teaching. This is how you clean the planetary grid, one human heart at a time. By changing your own inner heaviness into wisdom, you lift yourself and everyone else. You become a stabilizing point for the collective. The map is not a forecast. It's a reflection of choices already made. The point of no return isn't a date you're waiting for. It's a line you're crossing right now, between watching and creating, between knowing and becoming, between waiting for the world to change and choosing to change with it. The prophecies and timelines weren't meant to entertain you. They were a call to help build a new world. And the only requirement is choosing to show up. This investigation is finished. The information is here. The map is in your hands. But the real journey starts inside you from this moment forward. Your first step as a creator is to choose your path clearly, not by hoping, but by committing. In the comments, we are creating a global record of people who are consciously stepping over the line. Start your comment with a statement that confirms your choice. My line is drawn. Then name the one practice you're committed to starting today. Are you becoming a timeline engineer? A first responder? A grid worker? For example, my line is drawn. I am a first responder. Today I will start writing my book. Or, my line is drawn. I am a grid worker. I will face my anger instead of avoiding it. Let's make a public record of our decision. Let's meet the others who are building the new world. The great work isn't coming. It's already here. And the moment to act is now.